Hi, dear children, welcome to the next session on the chapter The Living World. Now we're going to learn about a new concept called as taxonomic hierarchy. We learned what is taxonomy and what is the meaning of the word hierarchy. It is grouping of the organisms into particular ranks. Is it clear? So the process of classification does not end in a single step. It involves a sequential of steps called as a hierarchy of steps. And each hierarchy of step or each step in the classification is called as a category or a rank. And each category is a part of the overall taxonomic arrangement, and hence it is called as, each category is called as a taxonomic category. And the arrangement of all these categories, all the taxonomic categories together is called as the taxonomic hierarchy. So, taxonomic study of all the organisms will lead to the development of different categories, which is known as the kingdom, the phylum, or it can be called as the division, class, order, family, genus, species are the different taxonomic categories. And the arrangement of all these taxonomic categories is called as the taxonomic hierarchy. So we're going to study in detail about each category. The first taxonomic category is the species. A group of individuals which shares the fundamental characteristics in common are called as the species, and members of the species, they have the ability to reproduce, to mate with each other and give rise to fertile offsprings. So species is a fundamental unit of a taxonomical hierarchy which share the basic characters in common, and the members of a same species, they can reproduce among each other so that they can produce fertile offsprings. So each species, they have distinct morphological differences or characteristics. Is it clear? Morphology means external appearance. So distinct morphological differences is there between two closely related species. For example, if we take the species Leo. Leo means lion. It has its own characteristic feature. Just think about the morphology of a lion. It has a tuft of hairs, a crown of hairs around its face. Think about the morphological feature of a tiger. What is the distinctive morphological feature of a tiger? It has stripes. It has stripes all over its surface of body. And it is indeed different. The morphology of a tiger is different when compared to a lion, isn't it? That is why they are placed under different species. The species for lion is the Leo, and that for tiger is tigress. So based upon their distinctive morphological differences, they are placed under different species. Now again, take the example of the leopard. It's having spotted body. So that is a distinctive morphological feature which comes into our mind. So again, the leopard is kept under another species and it's called as the pardus. Is it clear? Now this is an example for animals. Now let us take an example of plants. In this picture, we can see the potato, the brinjal, the tomato. All these are different species. For example, the brinjal is called as melongena. The tomato is called as nigrum. The potato is called as a tuberosum. Based upon its differences, they are placed under different species. Okay, and all these, the three, potato, the brinjal, and the tomato, based upon the differences, they are placed under different species, but based upon their similarity, they come under the same genus. So genus is given as Solanum. So potato is called as Solanum tuberosum, tomato is called as Solanum nigrum, and brinjal is called as Solanum melongena. So based upon their similarities, based upon differences, they are placed under different species, but based upon their similarities, they are placed upon or under the same genus. Now if we take Leo, pardus, and tigress, all these are different species based upon their differences, but don't they share a number of similarities? They have a large number of similarities. So thus they are kept under the same genus called as Panthera. So Panthera and Solanum, they are the generic name. So it is the next higher taxon. So the basic taxon is species. So above species comes the next higher taxon or the taxonomic category called as the genus. So genus may have more than one specific epithet. For example, the Panthera. Panthera is a genus under which it is having more than one species. Panthera tigris, Panthera leo, Panthera pardus. And in Solanum, Solanum is a generic name under which comes different species. Solanum nigrum, Solanum tuberosum, Solanum melangina. All these are different species under the same genus. So that's about species. It is a group of individuals which have the most basic characteristics. Isn't it? All the tigers have the same common characteristics. All the Leo have the same common characteristics. So it forms a group under which they mate among each other to produce fertile offsprings. So next we learn about genera or genus. Genus are containing closely related species. So genera are aggregates of closely related species. Group of related species with more characters in common than species of other genera. Within a genera, there will be related species which share common similarities when compared to another genera with other species. For example, we just learned that the Panthera leo, Panthera tigris, Panthera pardus, all these share more common similarities when compared to another genus called as Felis. Felis includes cats, isn't it? So based upon their differences, the tiger, the lion and the leopard, they are placed on the same genus. And based upon their differences with cats, all the cats are placed under the same genus called as Felis. So Felis and Panthera are two different genus with which comprises of related species. For example, in the case of plants, potato, Solanum tuberosum and brinjal, Solanum melangina. They are different species which are placed under the same genera, Solanum. So this is about genus, which is comprising of an aggregate of related species.